Well, welcome back to On the Red Carpet at Cama 2024. We are so privileged to have Brother Aldonzo Pratt, the founder and chairman of Nakama and Cama. Brother Pratt, how you doing today?
Doing well and yourselves. Great to be here with you tonight.
Oh, it's so awesome to have you with us tonight, sharing some time on the red carpet. Cama 2024, Stevie B, wasn't it just fantastic?
Yes, it exceeded my expectation. I was just thrilled to be there. It was just a pleasure to be able to meet all the artists and especially the artists that I feature on these shows. So a lot of these people I've never met in person, and I talked to them
Mhm.
on the radio like I've known them my whole life, and so it was just a joy just to meet everybody.
It really, really was. So, Brother Pratt, for those of
Mhm.
you or for those listeners who have not heard the origin story of Nakama and Kama, can you just give us some little nuggets of how did you even come up with Nakama and Kama?
And certainly, again, I thank you for even allowing me to do such in terms of sharing it because it's a story that I just remember almost like it was yesterday. We had been traveling with some young men called the Four Christian Stars. We had been traveling all over the country. They were unbelievable young men. And then August of 1992, a little hurricane by the name of Andrew came to South Florida, just devastated the entire area. And we thought about it at that time and said, you know what, this would be a great time to come together, mainly for three purposes, Therica. Mainly because I had not been in the Church of Christ that long at that time. And I thought it was the best kept secret in the world. And
Mm.
so I wanted to make sure that people understood why we utilize a cappella music in our worship. I wanted to make sure that people understood that uh, the individuals who sing, write, produce a cappella music are unbelievable, and really just wanted to say thank you to those artists who go in monthly, weekly,
Yes.
first Sunday, second Sunday, all the Sundays, all the programs, and what they do. And so I just wanted to say thank you to them. I thought it was worthy.
Right. Well, I think it is definitely an excellent endeavor. This was really the first Cama, right? That you were able to pull off without your lovely wife and your son. What did it feel like though to have your daughter Kelly working side by side with you?
Well, there's no doubt having Kelly was just unbelievable. But she's helped before. As a matter of fact, the 22 program, Kelly stepped up majorly and assisted me in bringing that one off. This one, however, without um, my wife Ruby and Donzo, it was different. It was really different. And Therica, if I can tell the truth, Stevie B, if I can tell you the truth, there were so many times I did not know if it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
God is faithful,
Yes.
Amen.
and so many individuals stepped in particular, my partner. Sometimes folk would say my partner in crime, but I don't think that's a great Christian virtue to use. But
Mhm.
just a great guy in John Edmerson, who has really done a yeoman's job in assisting me with moving this forward.
Mm.
Yes, yes, I agree. John did a great job just kind of bringing
Mhm.
some different flavors there. Some new fresh ideas as well. I think the two of
Mhm.
you together are just unstoppable. It's going to be just for many years to come. It's going to be exciting to see how Kama develops. Stevie B, I don't want to take up all the questions. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, Al, I was just wondering,
Mhm.
Al, what do you see of Camma, the vision going forward for Camma? regarding a cappella gospel music? How do you think it could improve?
Wow. Wow. Well, we see the sky, and even in our viewing of the sky, we still know that it's vast and unknown.
Hmm.
And that's kind of where I see Cama now, comparative to perhaps a few years ago. I see that there is just great potential. I
Mm-hmm.
think some of the things that we did this year, uh, we built it in to make sure that there is that future. When I think about the youth component in particular,
Mm-hmm.
that was more of a John Emerson's view of the future, and we both shared in the idea that when we look at some of the programs that the church sponsor and host today, we're concerned
Mm-hmm.
because of the fact that we know that many of our lectureships are um, encompassing older individuals, and if we don't do something real soon, there's going to be an issue. There's going to be some greater challenges. And so we have seen that, and we wanted to make sure that we are able to do something about that now. And that behooved us to begin this entire youth component aspect to see if we can get younger individuals interested, perhaps like we had been 20 years ago. So
Right.
that's one of the major things that I see as it relates. And so if I say the sky is the limit, Stevie B, I really mean that there's a lot. Certainly, the church is going in some interesting directions in some other areas, but
Mm-hmm.
I just believe that in the music genre, that there's a lot of potential because we have a great, immense talent base. We have artists all over the country, and this year, truly, I've been made uh, had been acquainted to some of the ones that you shared as it relates to
Mm-hmm.
your programs, and then
Mm-hmm.
many that John had been kind of working with and talking to over the past years.
Well, hello, this is Antherica Lane with the Church of Christ Digital Network and Cama 2024, and I'm standing here, you won't believe it, with Genesis Archer. Genesis, is such a pleasure to meet you. Your music is so inspiring. Who inspires you?
First, my parents. My dad used to sing with the Christian Brothers and Company years ago, and they always inspired me as a young girl to just sing for the Lord. So, aiming to
Yes.
be a Beatrice Palomore, thank you.
Yes, I think the one thing that really stands out is just your approach to music. I mean, it's different for the Church of Christ. What made you start to think in that way and start bringing us something a little different?
I've always been seen as different. That's a funny thing. It's just something about, I just believe that when, in music, that you should be authentic. So
Yes.
oftentimes people are afraid to be themselves because they're afraid of judgment or what people may think. And I think that's one thing for me that that I always just wanted to be unique and be myself.
What a
And want to
blessing.
change myself. So I think that if we learn to be ourselves, it just comes through our music.
Yes.
Just authentically.
Yes. Now, with Cama 2024, you had the opportunity to lead the first youth track. Talk about that.
That was exciting. So I had an amazing team. I mean, it was great to do that. I had Cindy Colbert, Stevana Golden, Frank Johnson, and Andrew Daniels. We tackled that thing, and we had an awesome time. We had like over 50 kids.
Wow.
And it was amazing to see them. We talked about the church of today. We talked about things that we're wanting to be in leadership roles, whether it's in leadership roles or in the church or either in music. To get them to just bridge the gap between a cappella. And then they had the first ever youth chorus, which that was just so
Yes.
phenomenal. They did a wonderful job.
Phenomenal.
Learned a song in one day.
Yes.
So they did a great job. It was
Yeah.
exciting to be a part of that.
Well, that's a testament of your leadership. Excellent, excellent job. Tell us what Cama 2024 has meant to you this year.
Cama 24 has meant a lot to me. I work with Brother Pratt and Brother John Edmond. It's just about dedication.
Yes.
About just being timely. Time management has
Yes,
been real.
yes.
But it means a lot to me that it's good to see the crowd, the new faces that we haven't seen in a long time, and
Yeah.
just come together. And I'm just glad that we were able to pull through together with Brother Pratt because like you said, he was willing to let this go. But I'm glad that we were able to bind together together as a loving Christian family and just keep going.
Awesome, awesome. Well, this has been just a wonderful opportunity to talk to you. I think that's the coolest thing about Cama 2024. Like, I was just listening to your song, Soldier, and here you are. And so it's just so exciting. So thank you so much for spending time talking with us. And this is Antherica Lane and Genesis Archer at Cama 2024.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Rain from Central Florida. I love this group. If you have not heard Rain a cappella, these boys have been out here singing a cappella gospel music, and they just released a new single, I Feel Good. Yeah, I Feel Good.
So
I feel good. They performed it here at Cama tonight. Gentlemen, tell us about your experience. They received an award, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, check it out.
They received an award tonight here at Cama.
Check it out.
Woo-hoo.
That's right. We're here every 2 years in Jacksonville, Florida at the Cama National Academy of Christian Acapella Music Artist Award. Gentlemen, tell us about your experience here at Cama.
I mean, it's definitely been a great experience. Definitely like the new innovations and the additions that they added to the show. And we really enjoyed ourselves. We're very grateful to the committee for, just recognizing us. We put in a lot of hard work over the years, and, we couldn't be more grateful.
Now, I did want to ask you, for the young, aspiring a cappella artists, what advice can you give to these young a cappella artists?
The advice we can give is just remember what you're doing it for, right? Remember your purpose and who you're doing it for. None of the glory is to us, it's all to God.
Amen.
So as long as you keep God first, I mean, there's absolutely nothing that can stop you. So always remember who and what you're doing it for.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Cama recording artist here, Rain. They received the Cama Award tonight. Check them out. YouTube.
Everything.
Everything, they're everywhere. They're making some great music. Rain is everywhere. You download his music. You can get their music. Spotify, YouTube,
Apple Music. It rains everywhere, yes.
Rain is everywhere because it's raining everywhere.
Yes.
All right.
And when rain falls, something must grow. Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us here at the Cama Awards. Certainly appreciate it. Congratulations on the award. Now, what I would like to see, since we're talking about the upcoming Cama Awards in 2026, we have a lot of artists in the Brotherhood who are releasing music, but they are not getting their music out there for the public to hear until Cama. So we need to start putting it out before Cama. So as Cama is approaching, they need to get on the playing field, so to speak, so their music can be heard nationwide, if not
Exactly.
worldwide. Because that's what we're doing each week. We're trying to put these artists out here, but I don't want to wait to Cama before I hear new music.
Right.
You're absolutely correct. And the interesting thing about it is that we recognize that also. And one of the things that John and I have been talking about is it is true we had basically been doing Cama with the idea of every 2 years, and literally we have in the past not really gotten a lot involved until a year out, 9 months out.
Right.
But it's our intention to start today, to be
Right.
honest with you.
Mhm.
Literally John wouldn't let me stop talking about Cama the day after Cama. He started talking about, believe this, and I know, Antherica, you'll have to cut some of this talk, but the interesting thing is, John was talking to me about Cama 26 during the time I was doing the program or the production, moments before we hit the start on 24. And I'm like,
Mhm.
John,
I believe it.
that's great, but we need to get through this one.
Right.
So yeah, we're aware that we need to be involved throughout the entire span of time, the 2 years prior to the actual music awards, by way of encouraging our artists to provide and get involved in production of music, even at this point, and then to do things like working with you and and Derek and others who are having these great programs to make sure they're aware that these things are available to them in order
Hmm.
to get their production out. In other words, they have to be incentivized to do this because in some people's mind, I'm doing all of this, it's costing me a lot of money, but what am I going to
Hmm.
do with it? What is the end product? Is it
Right.
going to sit on the shelf? Is someone going to hear it? What is the end? And so this is what we have to make sure we do a better job at throughout the
Mm.
entire 2-year process.
Now, one
Yeah.
thing that I can say, I'm glad I was there to not only meet the artist, but I was there taking pictures, and we
Hmm.
got video. We got video now of Cama. So, and I'm
Hmm.
always talking about Cama on these programs. So
And I
now I
appreciate
have
it.
some material that I can put out there so people can see what
Hmm.
Cama is all about. And we
Sure.
have some great pictures and videos that were
Hmm.
taken. So the
Great.
event looked like a real elegant event. It was
Hmm.
something that was real special, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
for
and
sure.
and I'll be honest with you. I know I call Cama the poor man's Grammys, but we believe it is special. And
Hmm.
for the 32 years that we've actually been engaged with the music awards, it has been our intent to treat it as such, and that
Right.
is to it is that program in the churches of Christ that is only every 2 years, but at the same token, we want it to be elegant. We want it to be
Hmm.
a program where our sisters and our brothers can, dress to the nine and just be a
Hmm.
part of this is for us. We can have a great time in the Lord and really appreciate it. So yeah, we think highly of the program and we know that we can do a lot more
Hmm.
to enhance the image and the production of it.
My
T. Clinton, how you
brother.
doing, brother
Good to
T?
see you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here on the red carpet in Jacksonville, Florida at the National Academy of Christian Acapella Music Artists Awards with my dear brother Frank Melton
That's
III,
right, that's right.
formerly of the Melody Airs. I
That's right.
love saying that.
That's
He's
right.
now with the Shady Acre Chorus, the Ruble Achievement Award winner as well.
That's what
here
they tell
at
me.
Cama, ladies and gentlemen. Frank Melton, tell us how you enjoying Cama.
Oh, I'm having a blast tonight. And yesterday it kicked off. We got here on Thursday, well, Friday morning actually, and we've just been enjoying ourselves, getting a chance to meet new artists,
Right.
and seeing the future of acapella be able to be in good hands.
Amen.
Makes my heart warm inside.
Now tell us about your new single from Shady Acre Chorus.
Well, it's not real new, but if you hadn't heard it, it's new
Right,
to
it's
you.
new.
It's entitled "The Sound of
Sounds
Love."
of Love.
Sound
I
of
love
Love.
Sounds of Love.
Yes, and so that's one of the tracks on there, and the other track is "Because He Said It."
Mm-hmm.
He's got in Romans we say all things work together for good
right,
for them
that's
that
right.
love the Lord
That's right.
and are called according to His purpose. So because He said it, He's going to do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here on the red carpet. Yes, it is red. It's looking
Yes,
good.
yes,
Everybody's
yes.
looking good here at the Cama Awards. We're about ready to get started. Hey, brother, thank you for joining us here.
Thank you for having
At the
me.
Cama,
It's a
man.
pleasure interviewing with you, man.
Yes,
You've
sir.
been doing great things in the kingdom. Keep up the great work.
Thank you so much.
God
Thank
bless
so
you.
much.
We
God
love
bless
you.
That's right.
Yeah, I think that one of the aspects of the artist getting their workout is that education piece. And this year we had some
Hmm.
excellent workshops. And I think the more that you do that, artists are going to learn more and more what they need to do to put out a quality product, how to
Right.
get it out, what do you need to do to get it on all these different platforms. I mean, it was excellent.
Mhm.
There was one workshop that I attended that was about writing songs and how do you
Hmm.
do that? And that was with Anthony Lancaster.
Hmm.
Wow, it was
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
fantastic. Our media production company had
Mhm.
an opportunity to record the workshops, and eventually we'll put that in the archives of Cama. But that
Hmm.
was just unbelievable. If the artist missed that workshop, that was such a treat. But I think there's so
Mhm.
much more talent in the Brotherhood. I think about Dr. Joy Carr and her workshop about keeping our vocals healthy, and it was
Mhm.
just fantastic.
Hmm.
And not only the workshops at
The
Camel,
thing.
but I
Mhm.
want to say not only but the
Go ahead.
workshops that were actually done at Camel, but the master classes that was done leading up to Camel.
Oh, yes.
You
Yes,
know,
Yes.
those were
that is
great as
true.
well.
But the interesting thing about the workshops is that has been a major component of Cama since in the inception.
Mm.
Even back in the days of Brother Johnny Wilder Jr., with what Johnny brought to the table, having been, with a professional group. Uh,
Hmm.
Number one, I was just listening to one of the countdown series yesterday, and they were talking about heat wave and what number they were on the charts at that moment, and then
Hmm.
all of a sudden you hear Johnny's voice, but he brought that piece to us quite some time ago, and
Hmm.
every year that we've had Cama, the workshops have been a major component of it, from moving from tapes to CDs, from
Hmm.
CDs to videos, the
Mhm.
entire gambit of publishing, the entire idea of explaining to our brothers and sisters that you can't just utilize individuals' music without getting permission, and if you do
Hmm.
so, we can't really use it because of the fact that you've done what you've done. However,
Hmm.
we also have gone into, the idea of making sure that they understand that while there is a cost, but there is also the ability to take advantage of those costs. And if you got a great product, then who knows who's going to be our number one breakthrough artist, because
Right.
that's what
Hmm.
we're looking for now.
Right.
We've
Right.
seen acapella, we've seen Straight Company, we know about Johnny Wilder, we know about so many of our groups, but who is going to be that one that breaks through this entire genre as it relates to acapella, and like the Pentatonics and those other groups
Hmm.
who, we believe that we are on the same level or even
Right.
greater with our artists. And so we're looking for that one. And so we got to keep on encouraging and motivating them to come to these workshops, learn more about how to distribute and some of those things.
Hmm.
Right.
Well, I got one more question for you, Al. Tell us your
Hmm.
favorite moment at Camera.
You mean this year?
Yes.
Mhm.
I,
So
Stevie B,
many.
my favorite moment was when it was over, but
When
I
it was
shouldn't
over.
say that. Uh,
Mm,
Actually, uh, the interesting aspect about my role at Cama is that I'm in the back, leading the production piece and trying to make sure everything is on cue. And so I don't really view it from the standpoint of even enjoyment. I view it from the standpoint of, is this working? Is everyone
right.
are people having a great time? And when it is over, and I then hear the responses of individuals enjoying it, then I'm having a great time, because uh, our members have come, they've been a part, they've been excited, they've been motivated, they had a great time, and they're letting each other know it, and that's really when I really enjoy Camel. All the
Well,
other stuff is just mere work,
Right.
well, Brother Pratt, we could talk about Cama for hours. But
really.
before we finish up with you, how can our listeners get involved? How can our churches start supporting Cama if they're not doing it already? How can they help out?
Wow, that might be the question of the hour and of the year, because we believe that there is a lot we can do. So, Stevie B, you were there, perhaps your first time. Dr. Anderica, you were there, perhaps your first time. So I think, and if I'm correct, I'm hoping that you were able to leave with the understanding that, wow, this is something that is great, but wow, it can be a whole lot greater.
Mm.
So I'm thinking that's the way you came away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If that be the case, then I can tell you this. You probably got the feeling or the understanding that we can do the program. We can do whatever it is that others are doing with their programs.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some things that we need. There's some components that we're missing.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the major one is a funding source
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
that is not just a ticket sale or registration. And so one of the things that members of the Lord's body can do to assist us, besides prayer, and we definitely need that, but we know people many times in high places.
Mm-hmm.
And if we would be able to acknowledge Cama as being a blessing to so many, then what I would ask is that they would talk to their friends and associates and co-workers and bosses and supervisors and all those who do stuff
Mm-hmm.
and help others all over the country with various programs, especially in the funding source area,
Mm-hmm.
grants or what have you. That's one thing. As it relates to the churches, we're talking December of, and maybe I shouldn't put a time frame on it, but we're talking first of the year. What would be the issue for churches to consider blessing their groups, their artists, their song leaders, even now by saying we're just going to put a small fund together now and we're just going to add a little to it every month so that 2 years from now, you would be able to be sponsored to go to this program that provides honor and say that you are doing a great job, keep on doing it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that there's a problem with that. I think if
Right.
the churches would just consider that we do it all the time. Having been a minister of the gospel, 10 years as a preacher with a congregation, I know that we go to lectureships all the time. We go to programs all the time for our learning and for edification, different reasons. What would be the problem with allowing our artists, those who bless us on the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth Sundays, those who bless us at homecomings, and any other coming that we have at the church, what would be the problem with us saying, you know what, we're going to put you in our budget and bless you that you can be a part of it. So those are some of the
Sounds
things I
good.
think that just without me getting in trouble, I think that those are some ideas that perhaps we ought to kick around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a great point because I know my congregation here in Fayetteville, Helen Street Church of Christ, they have been very supportive of the work that I've
Hmm.
been doing, and they have no
Great,
problem supporting the work that I do. So
good,
kudos to them.
Yeah.
blessing.
I think that's a great strategy that you outlined. I think if all of
Hmm.
us really serve as ambassadors, those of us who are familiar with Cama now, those who have attended the program, we
Hmm.
realize the benefit, the significance of what's going on.
Hmm.
I think if we can serve as
Hmm.
ambassadors at our churches, I think we can probably make some progress in this
Right.
area
I
for
believe so.
sure. Yeah.
Just
Yes.
just talking
With it.
about Cama because a
Yeah.
lot of people are
Hmm.
not aware of what Cama is all about, and I talk
Right,
about it all the time. You know.
right.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I was at a congregation, and I'll close. But I was at a congregation on yesterday, and the minister was trying to acknowledge, Cama, and even the idea of saying the word, and knowing what it means, makes a difference because there's a
Mhm.
difference in saying a music awards program and saying the Christian a cappella music awards.
Right.
There's a
Right.
difference, in terms of how it's received. And so you
Right.
are absolutely right. And it just amazes me that, again, we've been doing this for 32 years,
Mhm.
and yet we run into people all the time who explain and share. They never even heard of it. So yeah,
Right.
so if
Right.
we can just keep it in the front of people, and we have some great ideas coming up. I would say stay tuned, and
Mhm.
we'll definitely be sharing with you guys because we're going to be needing you in order to take it to the marketplace so that others can know about it.
Oh,
Right.
that's excellent. Well, Stevie B, it's going to be time for us to get back and see who is actually on the red carpet. I know you interviewed somebody. We got to see who's next. And Brother Pratt, thank you so much for your time this evening. Thank you for your efforts. We look forward to being partners with you in this process and getting the word out about Cama. This has been Antherica Lane and Stevie B on the red carpet at Cama 2024.
Blessings.
My man Dorian Paul
Yes, sir.
Williams
Yes, sir.
out
Yes,
of
sir. Yes, sir.
H-Town. We're here at the
H-Town.
2024 Cama Awards here in Jacksonville, Florida. We
Yeah.
have just brought the Cama Awards to a close. Dorian Paul, tell us about your experience here at the Cama.
Listen, number one, you should have been here. That's the first thing.
That's right.
Number two, the Cama Awards is a ridiculously wonderful experience. I mean, everybody get the opportunity to come together. I mean, it's like, it's a 2-year situation, so that means I've been away from my loved ones for 2 years, and when we come together, it's just beautiful. Some of the greatest singing you'll ever hear. You gotta get here.
You gotta get. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've had Dorian Paul on my shows. I always enjoy talking to him. Now, Dorian, the last time you was on the shows, you was telling us about some things we should look forward to as far as
Yes,
your
yes.
documentary. Can you give us a
Yes.
brief description
Okay.
of what we can expect from you?
So praise God. Well, actually, one thing that you didn't even know, as of last month, I got the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award from Joe
Congratulations.
Biden. Thank you, man.
Congratulations.
Appreciate
That's
you.
big.
I
That's big.
appreciate you. You know, so that lets you, the aspiring young ones, know if a young cat from Trinity Garden, raised in Fifth Ward and all that, can come up and get something like that, you can too. Yeah, and because of the story of me being with the Gap Band, Charlie Wilson discovered me, and I did 16 years with them, and I wrote for Celine Dion, I did background vocals for Celine Dion and performed with some of everybody. They felt it worthy to offer me a situation with actually 3 companies, Netflix, Tubi, and TV1.
All right.
But I went with Netflix.
All right.
So, yeah, we're looking at doing a filming of my documentary, and it's about the work that I've done, and the persistency and consistency that I've tried to do in the industry and everything, and I've called it Almost Made It, but it ain't over.
It ain't over. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Dorian Paul here on the red carpet with here at Cama, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a wonderful experience. If you've never experienced it before, try to get here in 2026. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Dorian Paul is always putting out great music. Can we expect some new music from you?
Yes, a brand new album. I'm starting to work on it. Well, actually, I already have started. We're looking to drop a single probably around Valentine's.
All right. So we'll bring you back on the show.
Yes,
If
indeed.
on the show, that's how we doing it.
Yes, indeed.
All right,
Yes,
ladies and
indeed.
gentlemen, we got Dorian Paul on the red
Thank
carpet
y'all
here
so
at
much.
Cama. We're
Thank
just
y'all
having a
so
wonderful
much.
time. Hey, Dorian, God bless you, man. You
I
know we love
appreciate
you.
you. I
Dorian
appreciate
Paul,
you.
ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
we're here at the Cama in
Hey, y'all better
Jacksonville, Florida.
listen. Y'all better come next time and get all this beautiful scenery with Lane Media.
Yes,
Did you
yes.
heard me? Lane Media, y'all.
Yeah.
They in the house.
All right. Thank you, my brother. Certainly
Thank you, Doc.
appreciate you. God bless you,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Peace.
Welcome everyone to 2024 on the red carpet at Cama. We're here with my co-host, Dr. Antherica Lane out of Cincinnati, Ohio. How you doing, Dr. Antherica Lane?
Stevie B, is so great to work with you again tonight. We've been working together on your show, What a Word from the Lord. That's been awesome to be able to
Yes.
participate in that with you.
Yeah, glad to have you working with me. You've been doing some great shows as well. I love the subject matter that you've been putting out.
Well,
So it's been
great.
a joy. But it was
Well,
good to meet you finally in person. I had a chance to meet you finally in person. So a lot of people think because we're working together that we actually have met in person, but we haven't. So we met this time at the Cama Awards in Jacksonville, Florida, this past Thanksgiving weekend. It was just a joy to meet you and your family and to get to work with you there at Cama as well. So it's been a blessing.
right. Well, likewise. Well, we are so excited to have another conversation on the red carpet at Cama 2024 with Sherrard Sharp. He is a Cama nominee for his channel, Pure Essence TV. Congratulations on being nominated,
All
Sherrard.
right.
But thank you all. I appreciate that. I was shocked when they Brother Edmondson sent me that text. I wouldn't have believed it, but I really appreciate that, and appreciate people who are fans of the show and the network.
Oh, well, excellent. I really want our listeners to get to know you and what you're doing. You're doing some awesome stuff in regards to broadcasting and really spreading the word, even including the Church of Christ in what you're doing as well. So, talk a little bit first about Pure Essence TV. Hey, where did that even come from? And talk about the vision there.
But thank you, and Derek, and Stevie B. That's such a rock star's name, Stevie B. I love that name.
Yes, man. Yes.
That's
I
pretty
wish
good.
I'd have thought about it in high school.
Really good name. Well, Pure Essence Television, believe it or not, it was originally set up for the Church of Christ. It was set up to be able to have a network where the Church of Christ can have their content, sermons, Bible classes, and also to be able to broadcast Christian television on the network. I wanted to bring back wholesome TV where you can watch it with your child without having to worry about, explicit language and things like that. So that's where the Pure and the Essence came from, to be able to just have pure wholesome television like when we were kids, where you can be able to
Right.
watch great content in terms of that. So and that's still the gear point, is to be about the Church of Christ, because
Okay.
there's some extremely talented individuals in the Church of Christ, and the network was built to be able to broadcast that program.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think what's really exciting about Cama is that it really brings together all of these visionaries. And many of us, I'd probably say all of us, really have at the very core that we'd like to share the gospel. We'd like to talk more about the Church of Christ and the church that the Bible speaks about. So it's just exciting to see that you are also, you've been doing this for a while, so you're also on the very one of the pioneers, one of the veterans in this space.
Well, I'm really glad, for that. I mean, it's funny because when I first started my television show back in 2010 in Chicago, people were still watching TV on on their TV at home, and they were told me at that network at the time that everything was going to go streaming. Nobody's going to be really watching television. Everyone watching on their phone and all that. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. My television show, was catered towards interviewing the biggest stars and celebrities in the realm of fashion, entertainment, and music. And I was just, I was like, wow, well, I can't see how anybody's not going to watch it on TV. But now, this is before Netflix, this is before Hulu and all that. We were still getting our videos from Blockbuster, you
Wow.
know, and we were still, renting movies and video games. So, it goes back as far as 2010.
Wow. Wow. I found my Blockbuster card not too long ago. I was like, I should save this. This might be worth something one day.
That or Hollywood Video.
Right. 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 Right.
Brother Sherrod, I heard about the Sherrod show, and just tell us about some of the guests you've been having on that show, and how do you go about getting these guests for your show?
Well, Stevie, I appreciate that question. It's funny because starting off in the industry back in Chicago, I was running up against Oprah in Chicago, and that was a tough thing because people really, in Chicago, it's not a big talk show town or room for a second talk show. But, I had a plan and I had a dream that I just wanted to be able to have give stars and celebrities, their flowers while they're still with us. And it led to the Lord blessed me to have some of the biggest names on the show, from the Isley Brothers, the Temptations, the Emotions, Joe Montega, Melissa Manchester, Les Brown, Mary Wilson, MC8,
Oh,
Joe
wow.
uh, Joe Torre, the cast Cobra Kai, some Frida Payne, the Supreme. We honored the Supremes on the show, their 62nd anniversary, as well as the Temptations. We've had Mickey Stevenson, one of our biggest episodes ever, and the list goes on. Thank God. But at first it was me reaching out to them. Now they're reaching out to me,
Mm.
saying, Sherrod,
Amen.
you to be on, we want to be on your show. Thank God. Last year, the year before, I was booked out for the whole year. Just for
Right.
interviews. So It's
What
just the
what a
fact that
blessing.
when you really give them their flowers and you really want to hear their stories and you're not trying to dig in their past and make people feel uncomfortable, they come running to you.
Right.
What a blessing. What a
Right.
blessing. Now, the year 2026 is right around the corner. What are some of the celebrities that you plan on having for next year?
Well, I have a list. I want to have Smokey Robinson on the show, Stevie Wonder as well. Also, I had the dad from. You remember the show, The Wonder Years? He was
Yes.
also
Hmm.
on the show. It was great. Having him on, he really enjoyed it as well. But there's a lot of people that with us that I still really want to have on the show. And I said Smokey Robinson, Dionne Warwick is one. And then also we're looking to have people from the cast of Karate Kid be back on, and then also I'm doing a special segment where I'm honoring boxers. On the show
Mm.
Okay.
we have we just had Mr. Bobby Chaz on the show. We have Mike Tyson scheduled to be on the show. We have Michael Spinks, Larry Holmes, and Roberto Duran scheduled to be on the show as well. But
Wow.
I'm just
That's
honoring their
great.
lives and legacies for
That's
this
great.
month as well as next month.
Now,
Wow.
how
That's
can how can our listeners tune into your broadcast?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, Stevie. Well, in a multitude of ways. One is on the Pure Essence television app that's located. You can get it on your Android or your iPhone device, and then also you can listen to the Sherrod Show on iHeartRadio. You just type in the
Okay.
Sherrod Show, and if you can't see it on television, you can listen to the episodes on iHeartRadio.
oh,
Outstanding.
that's awesome. So, Sherrod, before we close out today, can you talk a little bit about just what it meant to be acknowledged by the Christian Acapella Music Awards for your work in broadcasting?
Well, thank you, Derek. I'm so glad you asked that question. When Brother Edmerson sent me that message, I was floored. Many people say it may sound cliche, but Pure Essence is just a vision I had that the Lord put in my heart to be able to be a blessing to others. Through television, because so many people have great content, but people aren't looking at him for whatever reason. It's they don't feel that it's good enough, or they're just not giving it a fair shot, or there's too many things in line in front of it. But Pure Essence is a way where people can shine, whether it's film, whether it's short films, sitcoms, TV shows, documentaries, all that is on the Pure Essence television network. And we're growing. So to be able to be thought of and looked upon by the Church of Christ was such an honor that, I know my mom is somewhere down smiling up in heaven, God willing, because,
Mhm.
I had her in mind when I started the network, as well as my wife and daughter. So we have a long way to go, but I appreciate the steps we're taking.
Oh, well, that's
Well, brother Sherrod, I'm gonna tell you, go ahead and put me on your list because I want to come on your show.
It'd be an honor having you, Stevie. It'd be an honor having you on.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
And I would love for you
awesome.
to check out some of the episodes. I can't even keep up with them, but I want to definitely, want you to check them out on the Pure Essence Television app. Antherica knows all the information as well, and see some. You may see some familiar faces. If my memory serves me correctly, you are in Cincinnati, right?
I'm,
I'm in Cincinnati.
Okay,
yeah,
Antherica's
I'm
in
in
Cincinnati.
I'm in North Carolina.
Okay, you're in North Carolina, but I've had a lot of great people from Cincinnati on the show, from Mel Carter to the Isley Brothers. They're like from what is that, Lincoln Heights?
Okay, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so Cincinnati in the house. I really appreciate you all so much.
Mhm.
Well,
I would
right.
love to have you come on my show, brother Sherrod. Love
You
to
have a
have you
show,
as a
Stevie?
guest. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Every Friday night.
It'll be an honor, and Therica, please make it happen. I would love to be on.
All right.
Yeah.
We got to make it happen for sure. I think we need to do those of us who are involved in broadcasting. We need to work more together in some capacity and share because I'm sure Sherrod has thousands of followers and Stevie B has followers and I'm building my followers and we can just all share and everybody can learn about what we're all doing. I think it's
Right.
excellent. It's exciting. Well, we have been
Right.
on the red carpet at Cama 2024 with Sherrod Sharp of the Sherrod Show and Pure Essence TV. It has just been such an honor, Brother Sherrod. Wonderful to see you.
And likewise, thank you so much, Aunt Derek and Stevie, for having me on. It was an honor being here.
All right. You all have a good evening. Thanks for tuning
All
in.
right.
You
God
too.
bless.
Bye now.